Welcome to This Works Marketing, where 3 decades of proven experience has launched products, built brands, and generated profits. These are the stories behind the businesses that have been built. Today on This Works Marketing, we're going to talk about where I'm going next and where I have been. Hey everybody, my name's Ken Carey. I'm a direct sales expert for the last 30 years, working with big companies, small companies, and entrepreneurs, and the biggest brands in the world. And our company, Script to Screen M2, has generated over $6.5 billion in sales for our clients. And we do that by building direct-to-consumer channels for those businesses. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is it's direct-to-consumer, but it's something a little different. So, I am on my way to Africa with James right here behind the camera. We're off our way to Africa. We're going to Kenya. And the reason we're going to Kenya, and I'll tell you a little bit about where I have been and where we have been, is we're going to Kenya because I was approached probably 8 months ago from a mutual friend and introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Brendan Bouchard. And Brendan Bouchard has a very large online business, and he has a lot of influence, and he makes an amazing impact on a lot of people. So he asked me if I would help him put together some testimonials for his company and this product that he has, which is high performance coaching. And what high performance coaching is, it's a program that helps you learn to understand what makes you happy, what could you be doing in your life that'll make you a little bit happier and feel like you have more purpose to your life. And it sounds kind of ethereal, but it's really, really interesting on the process that he takes people through and how he has personal coaches that help people do that. So when he asked me about that, I'm not going to say I was skeptical. I was intrigued. And I was thinking to myself, can somebody really do an online program, be coached by a particular person, and really help them find their path and make them find the things that will make them happy? And so I said I would be glad to do it, but before I do that, I really want to go through the process myself, because I want to understand when I get in front of somebody and I interview them, I want to really understand what they have gone through. So he was gracious enough to set me up with a coach. And I have to tell you, I was surprised. I was surprised at some of the things that I learned about myself. I learned about what I want to accomplish in life, what I want to accomplish professionally and personally, that I hadn't really crystallized. And I'm so fortunate that I get to do what I love to do, and that's market and build businesses and create advertising campaigns that help companies really scale and sell products and solve their business problems. I really, really enjoy that. So I'm lucky that I'm on a path that I should be on. But there are some other things that I like I said, I didn't really crystallize. So I won't get into the weeds on that, but the point is, I got it. I got what I believe these other people that we interviewed got and how they changed their life. So this week, we're on our way to Kenya via Portland, via Amsterdam, via Kenya. And we're going to interview a woman named Rebecca. And Rebecca, she worked at the largest electric company in Africa, as a matter of fact. And she was an administrative assistant, not really understanding where she was going to go in her life. It was a fine job, but she had more. She had more in her heart. She had more in her mind. She had more aspiration, but she didn't quite know how to find her way to get to that point. So she came across Brendan's program. She did it, and over I think a span of a couple of years, she went through all the courses and the personal coaching, and now we're going to go interview her because She is the managing director for the largest electrical company in Africa. That is amazing. From an administrative assistant who didn't know where she was going to go in life, but knew she had more in her, to the managing partner for this largest electrical company in Africa. So we're really excited to tell her story. And what I'm most excited about is that we're going there. Could we have done a testimonial over Skype? Absolutely. But we feel it's absolutely critical, and we do this in all our direct-to-consumer campaigns, is that we really want to get into the lives of people. We want to understand the other people in their life that make a difference in the decisions they make. What does that look like? What's it feel? What's the feeling amongst the family? What's happening at their work? Who is in their inner circle that makes those changes? And physically, how has it changed their life from point A to point B? Well, you could talk about it all day long, but unless you really see that play out in front of you, you don't really understand the impact. So really excited about doing that. And why is it direct to consumer? Because we're going directly to the person who consumed that product and hearing their story. And then when Brendan uses that to go direct to another consumer, he's using the power of that testimonial to gather more consumers into his direct business, because the more people that come into his business that want to be coached and are in part of the coaching program, that he has the opportunity to introduce them to other products that he already has. Therefore, at the end of the day, he's helping a tremendous amount of people, but he's also improving his bottom line to his business. Now, he's in business, he's a capitalist, but he's also a very, very motivational person that really wants to have an impact on the world. And the only way that he feels that he can have more impact on the world is to have more people part of it. Makes sense, right? So when he brings in these customers through these testimonials, because people will connect with these people, and they'll say, I want to do that, because if that person can do it, I can do it, and multiplies that by tens and hundreds and thousands of people. And then the ability to sell other products that will help them on their journey builds Brendan's business, but also builds his overall vision to really help the world be a better place. And I just think, at the end of the day, what a product that you're selling, right? You're selling the ability to help make the world a better place. So I'm really excited about doing that. And the other thing about it is, in our business, we're extremely busy. We have a lot of things going on, but it's important that we spread ourselves to learn more about, in other industries, how that could affect us in our direct-to-consumer business. And believe it or not, you learn other things by being involved in other businesses and other industries that you can bring back to what we're trying to do. And I've already learned a couple of very, very interesting things by doing that already. So let me backtrack a little bit. So before Africa, James and I went to Sweden, and we did a great testimonial from a gal in Sweden who worked for a Swedish construction company that was very frustrated in her job, and she realized that's really not what she wanted to do. She really wanted to motivate people, because that was her job at the construction company, but the executive level didn't want her to do that. They felt it was kind of cultural when it came to Sweden, and they didn't want her doing that, and that really kind of frustrated her. So she was unhappy and frustrated, but she knew in her heart that's what she wanted to do. So she reached out, came across Brendan's infomercial, and she totally changed her life. We had a great time meeting with her and her family, her co-workers, telling that story. Before that, I was in Mexico City. Before that, I was, where the heck was I? Was I in Arizona? Before that, in Arizona, and then we were in Los Angeles. We were in New York. We were in a couple places, and Chicago. So we've told these stories all across the country, in Oregon, and it's been really, really interesting. And this is the last one that we're doing in this series. And then what's really exciting is Brendan asked me to make a documentary out of this. So we'll see how that goes. We are currently working on I would say not the final touches, but we're going to be going to Africa and we're going to be covering the story, but we're also going to be covering a lot of other things that need to be done for the documentary. So we're really excited about that. So that's kind of where I've been, where I'm going. But I want to bring this all back to direct-to-consumer marketing, because I had a very, very interesting lunch yesterday with a gentleman by the name of Jay Abraham. And if you don't know who he is, just Google Jay Abraham and you're going to be pretty amazed at this gentleman. He is one of the largest business growth strategists in the world. He's worked in every industry. He has made a significant amount of money, and he's made a significant amount of money for his clients. But his strategies are so interesting. And Barbie and I went to go see him because a couple of things. What ideas can we learn from somebody else about what we do in our business? How could we up our game? How could we separate ourselves from everybody else? How could we look for different channels of potential ways for our clients to optimize their business even more? And we also did it for our own business to think about new things that we could do. We walked away with some fantastic information. But one of the interesting things that I learned from Jay was about product diversification. And he talks about that as a growth strategy. And I started talking about that. I took that information back and I said, really, what does that mean? What does that mean to us? What does it mean to our clients? I know what it means to us because we're starting to do that in our business. Hopefully you'll be seeing some of that information coming to you. But I was on a conference call this morning with a client, and I brought up the idea of product diversification. And they are a big brand that is selling a product that we're doing a direct-to-consumer campaign for. And I had mentioned to them, I said, you have all these other products in your portfolio, and you're building this relationship with this customer who's buying this product now. It's now time to look at other products that you can diversify your offering to, and you can get more people to buying more products that are related to what we're doing in this campaign. And they were very, very open to it. And if you just think about, we started doing the math, and we decided that if you did maybe 2% more of the customers that we have already attracted, and we only were able to sell other products to 2% of those people, the ROI on that was significant. And it's only a small percentage that needs to be done. And of course, there's an average lifetime value that needs to be worked into that, and there's all kinds of mathematical equations. But the point here is that simply by looking about what other products you have that are in the ecosystem of what you're selling, diversifying those products and putting them into this category and trying to sell them, it's basically money on the table they didn't even know they had. And I was so excited to share that, and I was so excited because they were excited about it, and we thought, oh my gosh, we can really make that happen. Now there's a lot of back-end logistics that are going to make that happen, and we're going to make that happen for them. But that realization to do that is another way you should be thinking about building a direct-to-consumer channel. Not only are you building that relationship, you're getting that first-tier data, you're also understanding what their likes and dislikes are, and it's almost AI in a way. You're learning what they like, and through time and testing, you're going to find out what products kind of aggregate to the center, and therefore you're going to know where you want to make your special value propositions on what products specifically, because you know a significant amount is going to want this product bundle, if you will, specifically. So you're getting real-time data based on what they want and what they like, and you're going to be able to remarket it to them. And when you start thinking about what would it cost to it's so much more expensive that it is to acquire a customer than it is to sell more to a current customer. I'm not sure the numbers, but I'm gonna say it's well over 60% less to sell to a current customer that you've already built trust with, you already have a relationship with, you already know what they want. The cost to acquire that customer is so much less than it is to acquire a new customer. So when you've got that model working, then you can have the capital to do other programs to reach out to more customers. So that one little droplet of an idea has multiplied into two different things for this client. And we literally got on the phone talking about the campaign that we're doing now, the success we're having now, and how could we best optimize that. And just by one little idea, we're realizing what possibilities there are and how much more money is on the table. And it's not about money on the table. It's really about having more funds to really get your direct-to-consumer market out there to a much broader audience, and having more names, direct names, more direct relationships, and more first-tier data that's really going to help you in the long run. So that was fascinating. Just simply by trying to find something else in another industry that we could put to our business, we found it not only for our business, but for our clients' business. And that was really, really exciting and really fascinating. Another thing that happened about, probably a month ago, I went to this conference with a good friend of mine, Tom Ferry, and he has the largest real estate coaching business in the country. And he had the creme de la creme, the top agents all over the country in this one room. And he had a couple of speakers. One speaker in particular was a gal by the name of Tiffany Bova. And I met Tiffany. I was really excited to meet her. I didn't really understand what she was going to do because she is an ambassador for Salesforce. And if you know anything about Salesforce, I think in 2018 it was the #1 company rated by Forbes magazine to be the company that people want to work for, the most innovative company that people want to work for, and that was Salesforce. And she spoke, and she just wrote this book called Growth IQ, and I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon. It's Growth IQ, Tiffany Bova, B-O-V-A. And she talks about 10 different ways to grow your business. And not only does she break down these 10 different ways, she breaks down how you need to look at it, how you can look at it from another perspective, and then she gives at least 3 to 4 stories that are very specific to how that company used that growth strategy to grow their business. And I've taken a couple of things out of her book that are very similar to what I learned from Jay, but she really broke it down to the ABCDs of it, and we're implementing it in our business. But I highly recommend that book, because one of the things she talks about is in a roundabout way, she talks about direct-to-consumer marketing and how important and how the word's not popular, but it's I'm going to say really, really important for business today and in the future, because she talks about that companies have to start building different channels of revenue for their businesses, because as things are happening, and I've said this many times, but as things are happening with retail and online marketplaces and the moves that some of these companies are making, I mean, Walmart buying Jet, Walmart buying, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but it's Babonos, which was an online men's clothing manufacturer, and buying that and really understanding this first-tier data they get from those customers and how they can make it part of the Walmart ecosystem, and they are making major disruption to Amazon and all the other retailers. I think the number she used was there was over 7 million products on the Walmart website that obviously you can't get at their stores, online orders only. And as they acquire companies, that portfolio even grows with products. But the point being is that they're really focusing on buying brands, building direct-to-consumer channels. So at the end of the day, what are they trying to do? They're trying to keep all these customers within the Walmart ecosystem. That's what they're trying to do. And if you could get your groceries at Walmart, you can get, high fashion at Walmart, you can get your electronics, you can get all these types of things through Walmart. Why would you need to go anywhere else? Well, that's their way of affecting and executing on direct-to-consumer, because they don't want their customers going anywhere else. If they provide such a great service and create such great first-tier data that they can understand the products and services their customers want, so you as a customer don't go looking for other products. Because at the end of the day, our decisions are like this. We basically rent a product. We put some money down, we rent a product. And if that product did really well, we liked it, it served our purpose, the chances of us hiring that product are very high. So if that product that you purchased at that retailer was really good, the chance of you staying there are really good. And then the chance of them communicating with you are even better that you're going to stay there. So she gets into talking about how companies are utilizing the direct-to-consumer mindset. In one case, she actually uses the words direct-to-consumer, but the whole philosophy and strategy is direct-to-consumer. And she talks about how it really works in so many different industries and why it's becoming more and more important, because we are in a position today where these titans of business are all fighting for your attention, all fighting for you to keep them into their ecosystem. And you as a company that has a product or service need to understand that and start building your own direct-to-consumer. Because believe me, if these big companies are doing it, they're doing it for a reason, because it works and it serves their purpose. Now, think about what I just said. It serves their purpose, not your purpose. So, by you building your own direct-to-consumer channel, you serve your purpose. So, if there ever becomes a time where a retailer or an online marketplace decides they don't want to carry your product or service anymore, you're not held at low tide. You're not there when there's just no water left, right? So it becomes more and more important. So I had that, what we've been talking about for many years, I've had that validated by two amazing business people that have been extremely successful, one in their own business, another working for Salesforce and being an executive there, and seeing what they're doing and how that helps with all the clients that they're working with today. So anyway, I wanted to get that out because it's not just my opinion. It's validating itself so many different ways, and it's becoming more and more important as algorithms change, social and digital media changes every day, and reaching different customers is getting more and more difficult. And yet, a lot of the customers you're looking for are offline. They may be offline in terrestrial, they may be offline in OTT, they're going to be offline in radio, they're going to be in other different places, but they're out there, and you can't put all your eggs in one basket, because eventually not all those eggs are going to crack. And you're going to have to find other ways, other baskets to put them in, so you can get all your chicks to crack and become alive and quote unquote, be products out into the world. So, anyways, that's about it until I get back from Africa. And again, Jay Abraham, amazing guy. Check him out. Tiffany Bova, her book is called Growth IQ. and look for some content there we're going to be putting out from these adventures that we've been going on and how it all relates to building a direct-to-consumer channel. And we'll be looking for some behind-the-scenes episodes that we're putting together, because even though James is behind the camera right here, he's going to be editing some of those right away, right, James? Yes, he's nodding. And be looking for that on our social media outlets. If any of this information has been valuable, I would really, really appreciate it if you would share it with your peer or somebody else that you know that could really use this information, that might be helpful for the business challenges they're having. Because at Script to Screen M2, we are basically a business solution to a lot of issues that companies are having. It just happens to look like direct to consumer, but it is a solution customized specifically to the problem or challenge you're having as a business. So if that is valuable to you, you can click the link below, get a hold of us. If you want more information about myself, you can go to kencarey.com, see a little bit about what I do and how it relates to our overall business. You can get a link to the book, our book, This Works Marketing there. But just trying to create all kinds of information for you, all kinds of value, all kinds of ways to think about things that you're doing or not doing in this case when it comes to direct-to-consumer marketing, and all the other people that are doing it, different industries, and adding different twists to it that can help you in your business. So that's it for today. We'll be back probably in a little over a week, and look forward to sharing our trip to Africa and sharing some more information that I'm going to be learning from couple of people that I'm going to be doing some interviews with on our podcast, and getting some more information about what they bring to the table and how it can help you and bring value to you, to your own direct-to-consumer channel. So that's it for today, and we'll talk to you soon.